Hey guys, welcome to like I guess you'd call it like a late afternoon, early evening. It's 6:38 here on the East Coast. Just doing a little bit of Gundam modeling stuff. Been having a lot of fun with that, so I actually kind of want to like sit down and get it done. And I've got about 30 minutes before I gotta go get the stuff out of the dryer. So I thought, hey, might be kind of cool to test this out, right? I don't know how this is gonna go. I don't know if this is gonna be like something I keep doing on stream or not, but I like hanging out with you guys, and I know most of you guys aren't on now, but hey, you never know, right? For the record, so right now we're working on this little guy here. I don't know, just throw it up the webcam. Seems to focus okay. My webcam's like pretty good, but it's a bit hard to get it to focus without like diddling with it constantly. We'll see. Either way, this guy we're working on, it's pretty cool. For the record, haven't done, I mean, we were talking about this on stream like a while ago, I haven't done like Gundam models, sort of like toy figures, if you will. They're kind of like action figures, really. It's interesting building them because it's kind of hard to see. This is a piece I was just working on right here. But they're like extremely articulate. So this is actually about like 15-20 pieces went into like just doing this thing here, which is what I enjoy. I enjoy sort of like the mechanical engineering aspect of it. I find that very fun. So while it's not like the prettiest, pardon me guys, not the prettiest thing in the world, it's a lot of fun to build because again, it does have so many like sort of articulate and moving parts, as opposed to one of my favorite games of all time, like board game wise, for modeling. The actual game itself is quite good, but for modeling purposes, we got here, this is from Kingdom Death Monster. I don't know if you can see this guy. I'll work on getting it to focus a little better at some point. Either way, this is a very, very complicated game. Model wise, an absolute joy to make. Frustrating, but a joy. And this is like the butcher, and he's not complete yet. I still got about he's got about 7 more pieces to add on. I'll work on getting it to focus, sorry guys, but he's pretty cool. Either way, it's sort of like a test vid. That's sort of why test vid, air quotes, stream. That's why I'm sort of just doing it now, because I have about half hour to burn. Kaylin is napping because she's quite ill. Not really sure what happened, but hopefully she'll be better soon. She's been asleep for about 2.5 hours now. Either way, it's letting me get the laundry done and relax and do a little bit of this stuff, so that's kind of cool. I can show you the instructions real quick. We're not going to focus too much on them, because in my opinion, you don't really need to see them. But here they be. It's all in Japanese. Thankfully, there's a lot of arrow diagrams and stuff like that. Most of it's fairly self-evident, which is great. This is one of the better foreign instructions I've gotten for modeling. I'll say that much. A lot of times they're a lot more instruction based, like language wise, as opposed to everything laid out. And I gotta say, obviously Namco Bandai has been doing this for a billion years, which is great because each of the pieces, if I show you like a sprue here, hang on, let me get a good example. This guy right here. You see all the pieces are not only labeled, can I get this? Yeah, sorry, I'm running out of room on the computer desk. They're labeled at the top here, with obviously like the model name, the size. HG is, fucking, I can't remember, but high grade, that's what it means. It's a term for Gundam models, and this is 1/144 because that's the scale of the model. But it says C here, which is nice. I always like it when your sprues are really easily labeled. And if I can get it, so like just up here, you can see that. You can kind of see anyway. Sorry, I'll work on that. But each of the individual pieces has like a number on it, which is great because you would not believe how many models you go to assemble. I'm looking at you, 40K. They don't have everything labeled because it's like, okay, use this piece, and you can look and you can find that piece, but it takes a while. And it's very easy when not only are these ones labeled, like, 19, 18, etc. But they're actually sequentially done. So I can just quickly go down the sprue and be like, okay, 1's here, so 21 is somewhere in this area. Pretty cool stuff. Either way, we're just finishing. We already got the one arm. That's the right arm there. We're working on the left. So I think I just need the hand now. One complaint I do have, actually, with, oh, I'm not sure if I mentioned, we're actually listening to the Crypt the Necrodancer soundtrack. Check it out. It's a great game, and the soundtrack is amazing. This is, I think they have a couple different soundtracks, but this is the one done by Danny Barowitz, or some such. I apologize if I mispronounce his name. I could probably pronounce it correctly if I, saw it in front of me, but it's not quite the case. So I don't know. I don't know if any of you guys enjoy this, but in late night video, to me, since its creation back like 8 years ago or something like that, has always been sort of a variety show, right? It's something, late night TV. That's why I called it that. And this is personally something I enjoy watching. I enjoy watching people not necessarily assemble models. I've watched a few vids of that, and I don't mind it. I've watched it for some harder models, I suppose, to get an idea like what the pieces are going to look like and stuff like that. I don't ever watch something that I'm personally going to make. You know what I mean? But that is what it is. But I really enjoy watching people paint them and talk about how to paint them. Now, I'm personally not as good at painting as I am at assembling. Assembling is my all-time favorite thing. Actually, should be so. I suppose I could do this and give you a little bit more of the desk. There we go. But anyway, my all-time favorite thing is actually just taking them off the sprues. Truth be told, but that is what it is. I really like assembling them, though. I just love the mechanical aspect of it. The sort of, I was one of those kids that always took things apart when I was young. Just anything electronic, take it apart, have a good time. I had this kit when I was young. I was given, essentially it was just like a giant circuit board, and you could put things together and, figure out how they worked. And I used that to create a radio at one point, and it was one of my, sort of highlights of my youth. Not so much in the fact that that was like a very big moment, but that was like a moment where I sort of understood how my brain worked a little bit more. And it's very interesting, sort of building a radio, and just out of like nothing, essentially. You just have all these scrap pieces, and then you're like, wow, like this is not only like something like that I've built, but it's something that works. It's something that has a purpose. And it's pretty cool. Didn't need a radio, mind you. I had one in my room. That's another story entirely. We didn't really pick up radio stuff in the country anyway. So we just assembled a little hand here. They've got like a little shield guard on the hand. I don't know. I can't actually speak about this mech itself. I'm sure some people got a little upset when I said that, and not a mobile suit, as they're referred to in the anime. But I haven't watched enough Gundam. I've watched a good amount of the original series. When I say a good amount, I've probably seen about, I want to say 30 to 50 episodes. I quite enjoyed it. Char was a character I enjoyed. But I didn't actually watch the anime until many years after having, saved up money as a kid and bought a few models at Walmart. Or I believe it was probably Zellers at the time. So that was fun. Apparently we can actually just throw these on the main body. It seems like they're missing a piece, like a sort of, seems to be like some sort of like a shoulder piece missing here. But I guess we're going to be adding that later. I'm not really sure. If you've never tried modeling and you're interested as to whether you'd like it, I highly recommend these. They're actually really nice. Quality's nice. They're not like, the world's prettiest things. They do sort of have that action figure vibe, which is probably what they're going for, right? Because it's definitely, it's Gundam was generally seen as sort of a children's show. The original series, I think anybody can enjoy. It's very much just a sci drama, like a space opera, if you will. But it's sort of, well, then we got G Gundam, right? And that's where everything sort of changed. I personally am a fan of G Gundam. I know it's bad, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's certainly the best. And I think a lot of the original fans probably dislike it. But I like it because it's campy, it's fun, and one of my favorite lines in anime history, this comes from that, which is the whole Shining Finger quote, where Domon's all like, you know, my love, my anger, and all of my sorrow, shining finger. It's just, it's beautiful, you know, and it's just such a powerful line, albeit it's bad. It's certainly, it's up there with, you know, I'll fill your dark soul with light, or I was to be the one to fill your dark soul with light, which is from Devil May Cry 1. But it's just, it's good fun, you know? The only problem with G Gundam is, as someone who has seen it, you have to ask yourself, like, how much of it's canon. I know a lot of the Gundam, I think most of Gundam is canon to its own universe here. Oh, sorry, I guess we can probably do it that way. You have a little bit better idea of what's going on, you know, on the sprues, because I cut them a little bit above, right? Because, like, in G Gundam, they had I guess an easy way to think of it is, if you've ever seen Evangelion, they have sort of the sync ratios, right? And in G Gundam, it's sort of a similar type of deal, is they have these, the Gundam themselves are almost inhibited by your emotions. So as you get, like, you know, super pissed off, you, like, charge it up, and, you know, you go in the, like, super mode, which is, you know, how Shining Gundam actually eventually got Shining form, which is kind of silly. It was just known as Shining Gundam for, like, no reason, and then all of a sudden it, like, turns into a light bulb. But it is what it is. But I don't remember seeing any of that in the original series. I remember Gundam normally took I want to say, like, a hard science approach, if you guys know what I mean. There was hints of sort of alien technology, from what I recall, but there was never anything about, like, there's never any, like, oh, aliens are real type of deal. Just sort of hintage. I was trying to find the sprue, put it over here for some reason. And that's one thing I really like about it. You know, someone who doesn't crazy watch the damn thing, I find that fascinating. It's just the fact that it tries to keep itself very straight. It tries to, you know, apply real life sort of physics and engineering that, you know, that we could potentially do today. Obviously, that's not 100%. You know, we don't have giant mechs today, but I was saying, like, if we could, it would be something like this, right? And I think that's pretty freaking interesting. I love, like, we were actually talking about while playing Rainbow Six Siege the other day. You know, I was reading about this mech in particular, this guy, because we haven't actually. Again, I only just started watching the show yesterday. Kaylin and I pumped out 2 episodes. Sorry, the show is Iron-Blooded Orphans. It's the new Gundam. We decided to try that out because that's what these models are from. And I told myself, I'm like, all right, let's go ahead and give Gundam another shot. It's been like 1 billion years now, and try and get ourselves interested. We'll talk about that in a bit, how that all went down. But, ooh, hang on. So you're going this way. 7's like going in the middle here or something. Aha, okay, cool. It's going like this. That's interesting. I presume we're going to be, like, connecting something to it in there. Huh, figure that out. Nice. 25 is coming. These pieces out, this will go down. So we're just going to close up here, which means you're going something like this. Open side out. Or well, in, I suppose. Oh, sorry, I completely forgot what I was saying. I do that a lot, I'm a bit of a rambler. I don't know how Caitlin puts up with me sometimes. Either way, new series is good though. I really enjoy it. But yeah, basically I hadn't seen Gundam in a million years, and it's like I forgot how much I liked it. You know, I forgot like how much as a kid I was interested in Gundam before I even watched the TV show. I bought the models when I was young. I had like I think 3 or 4 of them, and that was about the extent that I could manage to afford. And then I saw G Gundam when I was in sort of mid high school, and then I watched the original series a little bit, and then that was it. So Caitlin's never seen Gundam, but I was like, no, you'd probably like it. Why don't we try the new one? Because we were in Toronto. I found these new model kits at like a specialty shop, and I was like, all right, look, I haven't touched this stuff in a billion years. I need to, I just need to try it, see what happens. And I remember seeing the opening for Iron-Blooded Orphans for 22 here when it first came out. Like when they were like hyping up the release of Iron-Blooded Orphans, they're like, hey, here's an opening. And I was like, you know what, this opening looks really good. And it sort of talks about things I'm interested. Like obviously child soldiers are very sad, but it's interesting seeing any form of media deal with stuff like that. So I was like, alright, check that out at some point. And, oh, what I was saying, yeah, so they try and keep the science very real, very, self-evident, stuff like that. And we were talking about it like when we were playing Rainbow Six Siege. I was sort of reading off about this guy here, which we still haven't seen in the show because I believe they appear in episode 7 or something like that. That's what it said. I don't know. I don't read spoilers, but I was trying to figure out like when I was going to see this character in particular. So I want this way. Beep beep yep. And I want you going this way. And we were reading they have like these knuckle shields or something. I was like, oh, knuckle shields. It's probably going to be something like, 40k, like power fists or something, like a force field, and then you like punch them. But no, it's actually just a giant metal plate. Actually, give me 2 seconds. I'm going to go grab a light. That should help this a lot. Because I realized it just started getting dark in the apartment. I'm used to being the sort of person who's awake all night. And I don't turn on the lights because I don't really want to bother Kaylin and stuff like that. But now we're looking for 3. Right now the only Gundams we've seen in the show as episode 2 are the Greys, which is one I could have bought actually. They seem to sort of be... It's a sort of a misnomer calling any type of Gundam like a grunt. You know what I mean? But they do seem to be like the grunt of the new series, the mainstay of the Galhorn, kind of like the evil Imperium type of deal. So this guy's gonna pump in right here. Already his leg's getting pretty frickin' insane. So yeah, he's going up here, clicking in. So this guy's supposed to be, I mean, he doesn't really look it here. Oh yeah, that looks a lot better. Thanks, lighting. That's awesome. This guy's supposed to be 60 feet tall, I think, 60, 61 in real life. Right now he doesn't look it, but I mean, if this is a leg, it's like you start, I don't know if I can put them like side by side for you here. So you start going like, hang on, he might be. I did, however, buy one of the... I can show you, I got it sitting right here. Yeah, this guy here. The Barbatos, or the Barbaros? It is Barbatos, yeah. Which is the main character's mech. Because I told myself, I normally, I gotta say, I don't like the look of the main character mechs in Gundam. They normally always look the exact same. So I need C1, 2, and 32. And I've never been a fan of the look. Shining Gundam obviously look like that. Like Unicorn Gundam, there's another one. Pretty much any of the main character Gundams there. The blue, white, and gold. A little bit of red. Just never personally been a fan of the aesthetics for them. I don't know, just not for me. But, you know, I said to myself, I'm like, look, if I bought actually a completely random kit because again I don't know any of the characters in Iron Blooded Orphans except I know the main guy's Mika. Well, I know that now, but I knew he was Mika and I knew Orga because I saw them in the trailer. I thought they looked kind of cool. I was a big fan of Orga. I don't know if he ever gets a Gundam. I asked the store clerk. I was like, hey, I don't know anything about this show, but Orga looks really cool. Does he have a Gundam? The guy's like, no. I'm like, shit. So I don't know if he gets one later, or if, you know, the shop clerk didn't know anything, or what. Hard to say. I hope he does get one. Because again, aesthetically I think he's an interesting looking character, but also, it's one of those things, like, you just see somebody's actions, and you go, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna like you. And turns out, hey, I did. So, that's cool. I think it's supposed to clip in here. Seems to do. Yep. Looks like a little toe there. But, oh, so the first guy I picked up, because again, I hadn't done Gundam forever, and it was this guy here, the Astaroth. I don't know if you can try and get it a little closer there. There we go. I mean, you look at that and you're like, hang on. First off, looks like a villain, right? Second off, looks pretty cool. So, interested. And then I found out, you know, reading his stats on the back, he's got a 150mm shotgun. I'm like, ooh, alright, you're my boy then. That's how this is going to be. I have no idea when he comes into the series, however. So, but we went back the next day. It was our last day in Toronto, and we were headed home. And I said, look, can we just go back in? I just want to pick up one more Gundam, because I honestly think it's going to be something I enjoy. Something I want to get back into, you know, because I do like assembling models. Even if they're not the best, they're not super expensive. I mean, for the record, in Japan, buying one of these is like $10. Here in Canada, you can get them from anywhere from 12 to 25 at the most. Depends. And, I mean, you might be able to find them for a different range of prices. That's just what I noticed just since we got back from Toronto. I was looking at prices there. Okay, so I'm going to go through and then clip on the back. Alright. But, so when we went back in, I was like, okay, I want to buy this one, because, I mean, I think this one looked awesome. Looks okay here, but I really like the head of it. It reminds me a lot of Evangelion. It was a cool looking Gundam, so I was like, that's one I want. And then, when I was gonna leave, oh shit, I was gonna leave with it, I was gonna buy it, and then I was like, hang on. I'm gonna regret not buying the main character's mech. You know, if I do watch the show and we do end up liking it, you know, the main character, that's gonna be like a thing, right? It's interesting. I don't know if it's actually like this on the Gundam itself, but a little bit of a gap there. You can see between the sort of the foot and the leg. I guess that it's like one of those things, right? Like, I could totally see that being a thing in the show and like on the actual mech, but at the same, because then you have more, you know, articulation. But seems to me like with the weight of this thing, I mean, God knows how many tons it is. I don't know if that's going to be, it's going to be enough. Hard to say. Hard to say. Maybe we get more to the foot here later. Not sure. We'll see though. Anyway, yeah. So I went back and I was like, all right, no, I'll put her back and I'll buy the Barbatos here. I'll go ahead and buy the, you know, the main character mech, because that makes sense. And then actually, there's a bit of a dispute going on between the store owner, or one of the clerks anyway, I shouldn't say a store owner, and a customer. And it was actually, it's one of those cases of misunderstanding. The customer was just like some really old, he looked Chinese, but he could have been Japanese as well. He wasn't speaking his native language, so it's very hard to tell except for the facial differences. But, you know, it's just that he was having trouble speaking English, and the store clerk was having trouble understanding what he was trying to say. And so I sort of like popped in and helped, you know, figure things out there. And they were actually quite appreciative, and they offered me sort of a deal, because they were like, well, you bought one yesterday. I was like, yeah, that's right, yeah. And they're just like, well, you know, sometimes, not right now, but sometimes we run a 2-for-1. So if you want to grab another guy, I can say, or like a buy 2 get 1 free type of deal. So I was like, oh, okay. So they counted the one I'd bought yesterday. And that was really nice of them. So I did actually end up getting the Hayakuri. Shit, I don't know her name actually. I think it's like the Hayakuri. I mean, if it's Japanese, it might be Hayakiri. Hard to say. So that was cool. And now that I've seen like 2 episodes, I mean, I started building this one before, and now I've seen 2 episodes of the show, and I'm like, oh man, I wish I was building the Barbados. I'm not actually sure how this guy connects in. I'm not gonna lie. It looks like he goes on the side here. Like you see there's, I don't know if you guys can tell, but, and we got like some ribbed edges right here. And we got some sort of ribbed edges here. So I'm wondering if they fit. The instructions aren't super duper clear. See, it seems to go, oh yeah, okay, there we go. Just required a bit of force. So that's kind of cool. So I need a 8, 6, and B6. Alrighty. I like the fact that the sprues are actually colored, you know. It's a silly thing, but it's quite nice. As I don't mind painting my models. In fact, I often end up doing that. But I'm not the best at it. I'd put myself like above average, but I don't think the average person can paint for shit. Which is no offense to the average person. It's just, you know, like, painting's not something, it's not a skill most people acquire, especially on models where it's mostly just detail painting. I'm very good at, like, batch painting. This is a bit of a thick cut, almost made me worry and think I wasn't supposed to cut that piece. But it seems to be smooth in the picture, so. If you're looking at supplies, actually, I currently use a precision range. That's all it says. I believe this was a, I don't actually know if this was a Games Workshop product. I don't think it was. I think it was just something we found in a hobby shop. Because normally I don't buy the most expensive, but it has served me for years. Works like a charm. Really like her. This is a little bit unfortunate here. Part of me is tempted to file this, but I don't think it'll actually matter too much. So going to have you this way. The 8 is going to come on this side. So we attach these two first. Oops. I don't know how I'm like good at modeling when I'm actually quite clumsy. So I want to say it goes this way, but let me just check I didn't cut out the 7 on accident or something. Oh, I totally did. I was gonna say, it seems like I've got like the opposite piece. So when you're cutting something, I highly recommend, so if you're cutting a flat, like right here, I don't know if you guys can see that. So this is like what you call like a flat end, right? I highly recommend using this side, and not this side. This side's nice for curves, but that's your flat. Some people do it the complete opposite way, and if it works for you, it works for you. I'm not saying I'm the best. Some people are extremely good at this. And mad props to them. So there could be some technique I'm missing, but I've always found it a lot more comfortable, and I find that's more important. If you have like a nice comfortable way you can sort of control how you cut. So I think this actually fits. Yeah, see, that makes a lot more sense. That goes bang on. Awesome. Again, normally when I assemble models, they have glue, and you do actually need to file them if we bring Kingdom Death Monster back into it. These guys I had to file the shit out of, because they come on sprues and they're just a lot of flat edges, and you just kind of like assume like, alright, you sort of know where they go, right? And you're like, yeah, okay. They have good instructions. Actually, the guy who runs it, Adam Poots, I don't know if he's in charge of like the whole website, but they've been doing models for years, and he does have links to some very good video tutorials. I haven't watched them myself because to me, a lot of the joy is just sort of doing it yourself, but they do exist. Now here's the big question, boys. Okay, we do actually. We want this. I don't know if you can see it too well. Wait, this little guy is actually supposed to go in this hole, which is weird because it's a movable piece. So that's going to be something we can't move later. I mean, it moves it. Oh, okay, never mind. It does totally come out if you push it all the way up. So that's interesting. And we're looking for B6. Now the cool thing about having them all come painted like this, obviously, I mean, again, Gundam's been doing this for years. They built an entire like empire on, you know, toys and shows and props. You know, it's awesome. But the cool thing about doing it this way is when you control the source material, you also control the coloring. And by doing things, I mean, in real life it makes sense not to have your mechs like 1,000 different colors. You know, you don't want like the rainbow mech or something. So by doing it this way, it makes it very easy for them. Oh my god, this leg looks awesome all of a sudden. To just, I mean, have this, like have just such a simple thing just looks so good already. I mean, that focused pretty good there, but, you know, looks amazing. I need D7, D8. Bet you guys were wondering when we were going to use this, because I had to sit in the middle. I just had it in the middle because it was like, you know, tiny. That's it, that was the only reason, sorry guys. Just tiny, and I had it out of the way. So when you actually, when you cut a flat, which is what I like to call them, or straight, line this up actually with the angle that you're cutting. So I find that's the easiest way to do it. Is some people just always clip straight down, which is the easiest for the human body to do, you know? But if you clip at the angle, it gives you a lot less work to do later. Because otherwise you're going to be kicking yourself going, why do I have to file 10,000 edges to make my little Skaven look nice or whatever? Okay, so this guy, he's going on the sort of knee area. Is he going up or down? This way. Presumably he's going to click into the groove. And again, this is awesome. Like, this is the easy Gundam kits. They have high grade, master grade, and real grade, I think. So these are the baby ones. Again, in Japan, these are about 10 bucks. They have like an even more childish one. But the cool thing is, these ones are just cut, figure out, make look good, and snap. No glue necessary. Now, I don't mind gluing. In fact, I like it. But this makes this like an amazing entry into the hobby. And it's something I'm actually thinking about, like maybe picking one up for, you know, I mean, if I had kids, I would definitely get them one of this. But, you know, for like, my little sister-in-law is quite young. It's one of those things, like, it might be fun for her to try this out. Now, I don't think she's mechanically inclined. I don't think that's the way her brain works. But you never know, right? And it's one of those things, she's not in a family where they've tested that a lot. Whereas I had the opportunity to, which was nice. But it's one of those things, like, until you try, you'll never know. So it's very easy to assume that people are stupid. And, you know, most people are just ignorant is the problem. It's very easy to assume that people are stupid or just not good at something. When a lot of it comes down to, we don't try things unless we're sort of forced into it. And when you're older, you don't want to do anything new. You just want to do what you do, your comfort zone. When you're young, your mind's a lot more interested in trying 100 billion new things. So opening up possibilities, or sort of offering up new ways of looking at things or new things to try early, is a pretty amazing thing. Now, I've already done and fucked up. Okay, this was my A3. I almost did it bad there, boys. Cut out 2 pieces and forgot to align them in sequence. Normally I would do 2, 3, or I'd be like 22 and, you know, 18. Well, I'd be 18 and 22. Like, you know, I put them in order so I can remember them. But I forgot because I was talking to you guys. Oh, this is interesting. Alright. Let's see. So it kind of wants to go back. Like so. Ah, gotcha. I can feel you. That probably... Oh yeah, there she is. Just had to rotate it until it felt good. I was actually listening to the Brigador soundtrack before doing this. Like, look at it. Like, it looks so good just because of, like, the slight coloring differences on the spurs, you know? I really appreciate that. This actually is stickers, which is annoying. I've had to put a couple on. You can see I've got them here on the arm. Maybe you can't. Let me put her up close. But that white on the elbow, those are stickers. They're actually really cleverly designed stickers. So I'm trying to get it in the middle again to focus. No dice, but either way, cleverly designed. Very well done. But stickers suck, end of the day. So, thankfully, it doesn't have a lot of them. I'm hoping this range doesn't have too many. But stickers are a very easy way of, you know, helping people not have to paint. Because not everyone wants to paint, and not everyone wants to have to buy paints. That said, though, cool thing, if we go to the front, this is the hell version of the instructions. No thanks. One of my favorite English lines in this. Such as parts of the orientation and the left and right, please assembled a good look at the illustrations. Just mind blowing. But no, right here we have a color guide if you were to paint the model, which is awesome. Either way, guys, that is the sound of Kaylin waking up. And she's no doubt tired and hungry and a little grumpy for me letting her sleep so long, so I'm going to go grab the laundry out of the dryer. I'll be back on tonight with some video games, and I'll see y'all then.